The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 11 yards there, first down.
First down at the 40-yard line.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 24-yard line. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 16, Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lewis. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. They can make someone miss in the open field.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Chubb looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And they see right through that defensively. as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
It's 3rd and 11.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Now Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will find Hurst in the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. Hayden Hurst, his second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Mariota to throw it. He's going to air one out. It got his man complete. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. He finds Corey Davis. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again. Mariota. He's going to wind up and air it out. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Terry McLaurin, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now, operating from the gun. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Jackson. Caught Right side, it's Lewis. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Jackson now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Being chased out left. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So we now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
A good return there, 17 yards, and it'll be Titan football.
37-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Mariota. And able to find Kirk complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A first down throw for Mariota. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Josh Hawkins with a pick.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
He's going to look deep down the field, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he's able to get it out of there. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And Davis has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jackson now. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter what his man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 32-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Mariota. Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On now is the Titans punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 64 yards. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Jackson, and he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw, Mariota. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Mariota. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
First down.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On the draw, they go to Geis. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mariota. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throw it, Mariota. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Jackson to throw on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Lewis. And he'll be out right at the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Check, 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 check. Check, check.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. They run. Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. Uses the stiff arm. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. A toss play to Chubb. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying. And he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Hit Collins, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A gain there of 21 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Mariota. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Here's Mariota. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to 37.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though. A few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the 4th quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Ravens, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to turn things around next week.